Hello Aquarius, I'm so happy to be doing this reading for you. For the month of September, I wanted to do tarot readings for each of the signs. So I'm asking your guides, ancestors, angels, your spirit team, what they want you to know for the month of September. And remember, this is a collective reading, so not every message is going to resonate. Okay, Aquarius, so we have the King of Pentacles in reverse here. And this is indicating to me that there might be a little bit of selfishness going on here, in that maybe you're spending a lot of time working or a lot of time at home and not enough time socializing with friends. You might be spending a lot of time at work and not spending enough time on yourself and the self-care. You might be in a relationship and your partner might be frustrated that you've been dedicating so much of your time to work and not enough time with them. There is also a sense in this card, especially since the moon is popping up here as well, the moon card, that there is a need for you to balance your work and emotional life and your spiritual life. There's this need to balance the material life with spiritual life. So there might be more of a focus on gaining possessions, and really, I mean, it doesn't matter how many things we get. If we are not emotionally balanced, then we're not going to feel that sense of fulfillment. And we also have the King of Cups in reverse. So there's some type of disassociation or disconnection between your emotions, your emotional aspects, maybe even your ability to empathize with others, and kind of the more self-centered aspects. So what this King of Cups is also saying is that in the month of September, you might find yourself having a tendency to be temperamental, to get triggered easily. So this is a gentle reminder to not take things so personally too. I think that's a good reminder for anybody, that sometimes, well, let me say this. Everybody's more selfish than we realize. Sometimes people do things and we think, why did they do that to me? Well, why didn't they consider my feelings before making this judgment call? And the thing is that people think about themselves more than we realize. So a lot of decisions that other people make are based on themselves and really not considering other people. So don't take it personally. So if there's something that somebody else has done, just know that it's not because of you. It's something that they're going through. So the Six of Wands is kind of a little bit of a pessimistic attitude. It can also be a resentful attitude. Sometimes we see somebody growing and succeeding in an area where we might be struggling, and that kind of puts this negative thought process into our head. And we compare ourselves to others. So we think, why are they so much further along on their journey than we are? But that's the thing, we all have our own journey to go on. So do not be comparing yourself to somebody else, because they are not walking in your shoes and you're not walking in theirs. The Moon card is telling me that you should be paying attention to your dreams in the month of September. Like you're actually going to bed and paying attention to the dreams that you have at night, because there might be some hidden messages in there. There's something that might be hidden from you at this time. Maybe in the month of September that might be coming to light. But I feel like there's something hidden from you from proceeding, from moving forward. There's some area of your subconscious mind that needs to be explored a little bit more in order for you to feel like you are moving forward effectively. Now, I am so excited for fall and winter. They're the most magical times of the year, in my opinion. So I have my unicorn, fairy, and mermaid deck because I am giving you all the magic. So we have the Solitude card here. This is the Fairy Oracle deck. Think of being alone as meaning you are all one and in total harmony with everything. The greatest treasures are those that wait silently during your quiet times. So I feel like there is a need for you to step away a little bit, and I'm really feeling that connectedness with the Moon card as well. There's a solitary element to her being in that water, along with this fairy over here, very solitary. And the Moon card also represents connecting and trusting in your connecting to and trusting in your intuition. And I feel like that's what this is also calling out to, is when you feel that you are all one and in total harmony with everything, you are really connecting to your intuition and that inner voice, your higher self. And that's what September is calling you to do, is to, I know that as Aquarius, being an air sign, you have a social nature, and so you like to have a little bit of excitement and adventure, but the month of September is telling you that it might be a good time for solitude. And along with that, you have the Dance card, and I love dancing when like nobody's watching, or dancing when you're cleaning your house or all alone. I feel like dancing is a huge way to let yourself feel in touch with your body and the movements of it. Dancing is also a wonderful way to connect with your sacral chakra. So this card says, dance. Move your body to music. Dance with the rhythm of life. Manifest your dreams through dance. So there's also, people are known to dance under the full moon. So maybe in September, the full moon, then maybe you will feel called to dance under it, which could be a very spiritual experience if that's something you're looking for. And we also have the Fertility card. Potential, powerful creative energy, initiation energy. So the month of September has a powerful energy, the potential to create something. It's like you're starting that creative process. Yeah, the word here that's standing out is potential. So maybe you're initiating something that you've been wanting to manifest by working with the full moon, or the new moon, sorry. You want to be manifesting with the new moon, and releasing with the full moon. So maybe with the new moon, you might be manifesting, starting that manifestation process so that you can start creating and stepping into this life that you've been dreaming of living. Now, when I first started out the reading, I had picked out a crystal that was really calling out to me. That might be a good option for you, Aquarius, for the month of September. And it's Caribbean calcite. And I know that there's a glare and a reflection here, but it's a light blue with kind of a tan color, and it reminds me of a beach. But it's very calming. It is for communication and intuition. So I feel like there's a strong need for you to make that communication and intuition connection. Are you speaking your truth? Or are you in a position where you are allowing yourself to maybe speak your mind or your opinion too much, maybe to your detriment, so that maybe you're pushing other people away? So let's be considering that as well. This assists with communication, including from your spirit guides, activates and stimulates psychic abilities and intuition, soothes emotions and brings a calm energy to help with stress and worries, removes blockages from the third eye. So the third eye is where you might be receiving some of those intuitive messages. So it might be good with that area. So your intuition, and then your throat chakra is your communication. So if this stone is standing out to you, it might be a good option for you to work with this upcoming month. Okay, Aquarius, so we will do some final messages that your spirit team, angels, guides, ancestors want you to know at this time. Okay, so there seems to be some type of situation. It's the 10 of Wands, and it's kind of like there might be a burden that you have. You might be carrying a lot of weight. So this might be you being in a relationship where you're kind of carrying the weight of both of you, either financially. Maybe you feel like the other person isn't putting in as much effort as you are. And this card is here to say that your burdens will be lifted soon. This is the one final push. It's almost like one final test before you make it to the next level or upgrade in some way. We have the Ace of Swords. So it's like there will be this newfound clarity for you. You might have inspiration or ideas. You might come across something, maybe a podcast or something somebody says. You might be having a conversation with somebody and something that they say really sparks this idea for you. And listening to your intuition too, because this is kind of like spirit handing you this sword. So trust in little thoughts and ideas that pop into your head. Write them down so that you can remember them, but trust in that. We have the Queen of Swords in reverse. So I'm wondering if that's also linked to the Nine of Pentacles that was in reverse. So there might be a sense that maybe you are overworking yourself. Maybe you are putting in more of an effort than what you feel like you are getting out of. It almost feels like you feel like you're not appreciated, or you're working harder but not seeing as much of the benefit as somebody else might be. The Queen of Swords, it's almost like you might feel that you're being restricted in speaking your truth. So remember, I had pulled out the Caribbean calcite, so maybe working with that, helping that may help you be able to speak your truth in this situation, whatever it might be that you're going through. It feels like there is some type of situation that makes you feel like you want to scream, but at the same time you're holding yourself back because you don't want to lose out on opportunities, whether that be financially or relationship-wise. Let's see what the Oracle cards have to say, if they have any insight on this situation. We have Wise One, grow within your current situation. So I feel, I've said this in another video too, what is not a blessing is a lesson. So I feel like we are here to learn lessons. And whatever these situations might be, this might be a good teacher for you of how you can communicate better with your partner or a friend or a family member or your boss, coworkers. I feel like there is something to be learned here on maybe not everything needs to fall on your shoulders. You can lighten your burdens by communicating when you're having a difficult time, maybe managing them. So grow within your current situation. Whatever is going on is meant to help you grow. We have Traveler, move in a new direction. So this might indicate actual travel. Maybe it's time for you to go on an adventure. The Solitude card, the fairy card that I pulled earlier, is coming to mind. Maybe it's not taking a trip with a friend or somebody else. Maybe you're taking a trip by yourself to really have that solitude. You're having your adventure, but also having that solitude and a time to step away. It might be really good for you this month. Another message that this card might be talking about is if you are just deeply unsatisfied with your relationship or your work situation or a friendship, move in a new direction. It might be time for you to move on and beyond that, but you need to make that judgment call. So these cards are both in line with each other. So it is Surrender to the Divine, full moon, and this full moon in Pisces card, Balance Spirituality and Practicality. So there was a definite need in this reading for you to connect with your intuition and your spirituality. Surrendering that if you're going through a difficult time, surrendering that situation to the divine, saying, I know that you're going to guide me in the right direction. I know that this is not a forever, it's a for now. And when we can release our need to control certain situations, that's when things start flowing a little bit better. So I feel like there's a definite need to surrender some of that control to the divine to help you in this forward movement that you're looking for. There is a need to balance spirituality and practicality. So balancing that spiritual side with, okay, so I'm going to do my full moon ritual, my full moon ceremony. I'm going to be releasing, but making sure that you're doing it, okay, you know, I have this 3-day window for the most part when it comes to the full moon. And what in those 3 days, when in those 3 days is it going to feel the best for me to do that? Maybe I'm super busy one day and I just don't have time. So then be flexible with yourself. Be practical on, don't judge yourself too harshly either. Balancing spirituality and practicality. How can I use my spiritual practices in my everyday life? Can I wake up and do a 5-minute morning meditation? Is it better for me to do a 5 to 15-minute meditation before going to bed? So using some practicality in it as well, because a lot of people get caught up and they say, well, I don't have time to be spiritual and do all these different things. You don't have to do some expansive ritual or ceremony with the full moon. It might just be writing down on a piece of paper, this is what I want to release, and then burning that piece of paper. And that can be it. It can be as simple as that. So balancing is important here. I feel like there's one more message that we might be missing here. Your spirit team is telling me that I need to pull at least 2 more cards. I'm hoping that they will just fly out for me. There's one of them. And there's the other. Okay, so yeah, we have the Hanged Man. So this is reminding me of the Ace of Swords that I pulled. A new perspective, a newfound clarity. There's a need to look at a situation from a new perspective. We might be looking at something from a very self-centered place, and maybe not intentionally. I'm not saying that in a negative way, because we are living in our own bodies. We kind of make everything about us or self-centered. Everybody does that, so do not take offense to that, please. But there's kind of a need for us to look at a situation in a new light, gain a new perspective from it. Why might a person be doing something? Removing ourselves from that. I feel like there's the potential for you to have a very enlightening moment. This golden halo is kind of standing out to me. So maybe some of you might be going through like a spiritual awakening in the month of September, and you'll really be diving deeply into your spiritual practice. I think that's part of the reason why the balancing spirituality and practicality is coming up too, because we might completely consume ourselves in our spiritual practice, which if you have the time for that, great, but if you don't, be practical about it and take things in little doses. So potential for spiritual awakening for some Aquarius in the month of September. We have the Judgment Call in reverse. So making sure that we are taking the time to consider the possibilities before making a judgment call. I feel like there is a strong possibility for you guys to have a snapping moment. Maybe that's at work, maybe it's at home with a friend, family member, maybe it's with your partner, but I feel like there's a strong possibility that you might have just like a snapping moment and shut everybody out. But making sure that we are taking the time to use discernment, making a judgment call before we throw ourselves into a situation that we might end up regretting a little bit. So taking a pause, using that solitude might really help you in making those judgment calls for this upcoming month. Thank you so much for joining me, Aquarius. I loved doing this reading for you. If you would like a personal reading, please schedule on www.crystallizewithkate.com. I also do Reiki sessions. I'm a Reiki master, and I also have sessions that include tarot and Reiki combined, and it's such a beautiful energy, so that is available through my website as well. If you would like more content like this, please subscribe to my channel. Otherwise, I hope you have a beautiful month of September, and I will see you guys later. Bye.